Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel, Bookish 4 Eyes. This video is about my most anticipated book releases of this year. It looks like there's going to be a lot of great books and I'm really looking forward to reading all of them. However, I had to narrow it down to a decently short list, so these are like the top most exciting books in my opinion that are coming out, so let's get right into it. The very first book I think will come as no surprise to many of you because it is the third book in the You trilogy. I don't know if it's even a trilogy at this point. I think she might be coming out with a fourth book somewhere down the line, but this is You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. Her other two books in the series are You, as I mentioned earlier, and also there's a second book called Hidden Bodies. In this third book now, we follow him to a small town in Pacific Northwest where he chooses to settle down and kind of live a quiet life. He gets a job at the library and lo and behold, he meets another woman that he's kind of passionately in love with, if you will, in like an obsessive sort of way, and he really wants to woo her and he wants to do things the right way this time around, which if you've read the books, you know that's probably not how things are going to go down. But I'm excited to give this one a go. It comes out on April 6th, and I really hope this one turns out a little better than the second book and is a little bit more believable, which is what made the first book so exciting and so enjoyable to read. Let me know if you've seen the show and if you're looking forward to the third book in the series. The second book that I'm excited to read is called People Like Them by Samira Sidira, and this comes out on July 6th. This hooked me because it's compared to two books that I absolutely enjoyed. First one is The Perfect Nanny and the second one is Little Fires Everywhere. It's about a small town and a new family moves in. This is supposed to be a psychological suspense novel, which I'm all about. I'm really excited to dive into that, and I guess the family that moves in is really flashy, rich, and they're a lot different from everyone else who lives in that community. However, they do become friends with one of the older families there, and I suppose this book is about the two families and their friendship. It seems that somewhere down the line they do come across some financial troubles, and from that stem other issues, because at one point something unthinkable happens and it's just gonna blow up the whole thing. So I'm excited. I like it when there's something unexpected and there's a crazy twist and turn, so I'm looking forward to this book. The next book that I'm excited to read is called Clara and the Sun, and this is by Kazuro Ishiguro, and this book comes out on March 2nd. This is about an artificial friend who is sitting in a store waiting to be purchased by a friend. So I guess this is kind of the futuristic book about artificial intelligence and it getting to the point where you can go to a store, you can purchase yourself a friend. I guess take your friendship from there. As she's in the store, she's observing everyone coming in, picking out their friends. I'm kind of fascinated by the idea of artificial intelligence and things getting to the point like that, and I think this book will be something that's really different from a lot of the books I've read and something that I haven't really explored in my reading in the past. The next book is The Committed by Viet Thanh Nguyen, and this comes out on March 2nd. This is a follow-up to his first book called The Sympathizer, which I thoroughly enjoyed and highly recommend. This basically talks about the main character from the book Sympathizer, who's Vietnamese refugee, and he and his brother, I believe, end up in Paris, finally getting away from the situation they were in before. However, once they're in a safer space, it seems that they're still not completely settled and they end up turning into drug dealing, and you know, their kind of troubles continue on even though they were able to move to a different place. I really enjoyed The Sympathizer. The writing was amazing and it's a book that I was just able to fly through. I'm looking forward to picking this up and seeing where the story continues on. The next book I'm looking forward to reading is The Woman in Purple Skirt by Natsuko Imamura, and this comes out on June 8th. And this is about a relationship between two women who meet and befriend one another, and then you dig a little bit deeper and realize that the woman in the purple skirt is kind of being, I guess, taken advantage of. I guess the woman in the yellow cardigan, who's the other woman, invites the woman in the purple skirt to work as a housekeeper in the same hotel where she works. The woman in the purple skirt ends up having an affair with their boss, and there's just a lot of drama and manipulation that happens, and just to me it sounds fascinating. I love a good psychological thriller, one of the characters getting obsessed with another, and it sounds very intriguing. The next book is called A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins, and this comes out on August 31st. If you're familiar with Paula Hawkins, she's the writer of The Girl on the Train, which I absolutely loved. It was one of my favorite books, so I'm very excited that she's coming out with another book, and I cannot wait to pick it up because her writing's great. This one is about a main character named Laura who's not very likable, it seems, and she just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time quite frequently, and it seems that some people might not believe the fact that she just happened to be around the scene of a crime and didn't really have anything to do with it. So I'm guessing this is another case of a book where we don't really know who has done it, but we're suspecting that it might be someone else and not the main character. So this should be an excellent read. The next book that I'm excited to read is called We Were Never Here by Andrea Bartz, and this comes out on July 13th. This is about two best friends who go on a backpacking trip in Chile, and it seems like an awesome adventure that they're going to embark upon. However, it turns out that one of the friends comes home one night and finds that her best friend has had an altercation with the young man, and in the end ended up killing him. It appears that in the last year a similar occurrence has happened where someone was dead in that same area. We don't really know if that's related in any way, shape, or form. We just know that this is what transpired. When the two friends return back home, our main character doesn't know if she can fully trust her friend, and she just doesn't really know. She just has a weird feeling about everything that happened, and she doesn't really fully trust her friend. She thinks that maybe her friend's not telling her the whole truth, and maybe there's more to it than what she initially thought. So that sounds completely mysterious and really suspenseful, so I can't wait to read this book. I think it's going to be a good read. So these are my most anticipating reads of 2021. This is primarily books that are coming out in the first half of the year. I think as the year goes on, there will be more announcements and just more information about books that are coming out in the second half of the year, so I might end up doing another video with more books. Please let me know which books you are excited for in general. I'm always happy to see what everyone else is looking to read. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.